if you're so busy, you're like, I don't have time, then there's no place for you to grow, improve yourself, and keep open to new concepts, new ideas, and ways for you to move in a better direction. You're just going to be stagnant at some point.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the show. Are you somebody that's constantly busy or running around like a lunatic? Well, thanks for taking time out of your busy day to listen to our show. It's all about you today. Welcome back to our show. My name is Todd. I'm here with my wife and business partner, Jen.
Hello.
How's it going?
Great.
We're the co-owners of Hello Hair Co., which is our salon and barbershop, and the co-owners of Hello Hair Pro, which is our education and mentoring business. So before we jump in, I want to let you know that the podcast episode is brought to you by our friends at Ping Pong Design and Marketing.
Ping pong.
Thanks, Jen.
Welcome.
If you want to love your website again, or if you're looking for more clients to fill your business, Ping Pong is your solution. They're also offering our audience a special discount on any website or digital marketing campaign. Visit the show notes, reach out to Chris, talk to him about your needs. That's as simple as it needs to be.
Do it.
Do it. Ping Pong, not just for hair pros, but the entire health, beauty, and fitness industries. On to the show. All right, so I don't know if we've touched on this topic before, and it's very echoey in this room. So we're in a spot in our salon. It's very echoey. So hopefully we can work that out after.
And the phone might ring. It's possible.
Why don't we just unplug it? Unplug the bass. All right. So I was checking out, I saw this article about, I was researching busyness a little bit because we had talked about doing a show on it. And I found an article and I was like, wow, as humans, we're not really busy. We just like to pretend that we're busy. So like, let's dive into this a little bit, right? So I think being busy for the sake of being busy, it's a trap.
Okay.
And I think that busyness in general, or that like hustle culture we'll get into a little bit, is definitely hurting your productivity. Like facts. And I actually have some facts later on, but I don't know why I feel like I'm whispering too. Am I?
No, but probably because it's so echoey.
Oh,
I feel
is that
like
why?
A little careful with my voice in here too.
Okay. That's probably why. Let me grab a sip of this water. We'll see if that helps. All right. So busy, I think we have to look at first, busy and productive are not the same things.
Agreed.
Busy is just you're moving around from one thing to the other. Kind of like a lunatic.
Like a Tasmanian devil.
Yeah. But you're not ever actually getting anything done. So how many people can you think of that are constantly running around doing all the things, but you never see them actually accomplish anything?
A lot. Yeah.
I think I wrote a bunch. I can think of a bunch. Yeah. Like,
that's why I always ask people, like, what are your actionable steps for what you're trying to do here? And they're like, what? I'm like, okay, so you're literally like, what are you trying to accomplish here? Like, what are you going to do to get there? Like, just exactly being busy to be busy isn't getting you any closer to your goals.
No, and this isn't in our notes, but I think that's a great topic to bring up, because if you don't have a plan, I look at everything like this. You need to have a plan, which is your, I guess, action steps. And then almost like a to-do list. If somebody's like, what the fuck are action steps? Think of it, your to-do list. Like, this is what I need to accomplish for my business, or this is what I need to accomplish as a hair pro to grow my clientele, or whatever. So you create that sort of bulleted to-do list. Then that's not enough. You need to create a strategy. Right. So a strategy is different than a plan. So a plan is like the thing, the to-do, the steps. A strategy is like, I need to do X, Y, and Z, which will produce this result.
Correct. Right.
In this time frame.
And I will say,
and here's why it's going to work.
They get stuck and they do the to-do list and then they never do anything on it.
Yeah, if you're always
that's their actionable step, and then nothing comes out of it.
Right, because you don't have a strategy to.
But they look busy on paper because they have a really long to-do list.
Awesome. Hey, keep rocking on. So, I guess why are people being busy? Why is that attractive to people? Because you see it all the time where people are like, oh, I'm busy. Oh, I can't do that. I'm too busy. I can't work out. I'm too busy. I can't come get my hair done. I'm too busy. It's actually the opposite. For some reason, people will make time for their hair.
True.
Take 4 or 5 hours out of their day to hang with you.
Yeah. I think a lot of people aren't organized in what they're doing, so they waste a lot of time feeling busy and feeling overwhelmed, but almost probably more frozen, so they cannot be productive.
That's interesting. Yeah, for sure. So appearing busy, like the act of just appearing busy, doesn't do anything for you. So I think some people think that it does.
I would agree, because I definitely, so as a salon owner for a good amount of years, in the beginning years of being a salon owner, I really felt like I needed to appear busy, because if I didn't look busy behind the chair, how was I going to attract stylists and show them how to be busy? I am a fairly busy stylist, but it still was something that haunted me. I felt like I looked like a successful owner, leader, stylist in my salon if I appeared really busy. So like sometimes I would even stack too many clients in once, because people would be like, wow, I want to be like you. You're so busy. And I'm like, no, you don't. I'm drinking water and eating a bar in the bathroom. Like, this is not cool. Like, you don't want to be like me, but I don't know how to do anything else. And somehow I would get praised for it. So I just like kept doing it.
Yeah, because of that hustle culture, I think people admire that,
and
for
that
the wrong
made me
reasons.
feel successful.
So let's keep going why this is bad, because I'm digging it. So a lot of people will use the term multitasking.
Yes.
So I'm gonna get into this, and this is gonna piss people off, but that's okay. I'm cool with it. I'm down to piss some people off today, anyways.
I think when they understand, when you explain it, they'll come off.
Because the word gets thrown around a lot, and it doesn't really mean anything. Right. So multitasking isn't actually a thing, right? So the human brain, and this is fact, you can look it up, the human brain is wired to like sort of bottleneck when more than one task is being attempted, because we're not wired to do, like, I can't be recording this podcast and typing a newsletter.
Right. Not possible.
It's not
that would
possible.
be multitasking.
Now, some people are like, I definitely could do that because I would just take notes as we type, and then I would... No. That's not how your brain works. You're not present
in the thing that you're supposed to be doing at that time.
Exactly. So before we get into sort of why that happens a little bit, what does that mean? It means that while you probably think you're being efficient, you're actually being less efficient. So 2 tasks you're working on together are most likely going to either A, take longer than if you did them separately, or B, have less quality.
Correct. You're like going to half-ass both of them to get it done.
You have to. There's no 100% on 2. Like, you only have 100%. So you cannot give 100% to 2 tasks.
Right.
Doesn't make sense. So I want to point out that this is all facts. You can look it up, people. I love you. There's that phone.
I did unplug it.
All right. So think about it. Why would you be able to give 2 things 100% of your focus? It doesn't add up. So for that reason alone, multitasking is like officially a myth. The process our brains go through is called task switching. And you're probably like, well, task switching, you're just like semantics. No. Like, people study this stuff, like psychoanalysts and whatever, right? You can read about it. I read something earlier today. It was by, like a psychoanalytical doctor of whatever, the brain at Berkeley. And I was like, cool, take your word for it, buddy. And so they were all agreeing on this sort of thing. So why is that bad? Why is multitasking or task switching, which it really is, bad? So 1, it uses a ton of fucking brain power. Yeah. To stop a task and start another task wastes a ton of time. So 2, moving between tasks can cost up to 40% more time.
Yeah, because you're not focused on one task.
Correct. So think about when you stop, you're doing, say, laundry at home, something stupid. And you're like, oh, I got to get to those dishes. The amount of time that it takes for you to get the laundry done when you're finished with the dishes and finish with the laundry and begin the dishes is a lot of wasted time. But we think we're good at it still. We're not. So 40% of time is wasted. Did I already say that? Okay. So for every hour that you need to get work done, you're taking an hour and 24 minutes. So it's 24 minutes wasted.
That's insane.
Yeah. When you start looking at it that way, you have time to work out now, right?
Yep. I think your time is all what you make of it. Like you just have to structure what you want your day to look like. And a lot of that comes into how do you want to feel and what do you want to get out of that day. And you will make time for things when you realize they're important to you. Or you should.
Yeah. So towards the end of the episode, and I don't think we said this in the beginning, and I like to, so I screwed up a little there, but
that's okay.
Towards the end of the episode, we're going to get into some different strategies, different things that you can put into place to help you with your time management. And some of them, I think people are going to be like, if I don't have time, how am I going to fit that in? But this is what we're telling you. A lot of it's just being organized within your time, which will free up more time. And if anybody's listening and you come in for a job chat with us, just a heads up, I cringe every time somebody tells me that they're an amazing multitasker. So don't say that. Like, don't say that, and probably don't hand me a resume. I appreciate the effort, but I'm going to talk to you. I'll get everything. I don't need to know that you worked at Chili's. Oh, Chili's. For 3 years and are an amazing multitasker. Like, don't leave that stuff out. All right. So let's move on to why do some people just love being busy? And you can't see me, we're not recording this. So I'm doing air quotes around busy because it's the appearance of busy. Right. That sort of people attach themselves to. Absolutely. A lot of people build it into their personalities. I think they get a kick out of when people say, oh, that person's always busy. Yeah, I think a lot of people feel successful when they are so busy, even though it stresses them out. And if they were more organized, they could be less busy or the same amount of busy, but in a very organized way that allowed free time and your time, all of those things. Agreed. So some people, and this is all from articles that I've read and different things, but some people use busy as a status symbol, which I think is stupid. I'm just going to say it. But we just talked about that a little bit. They sort of attach their personalities to it. And I heard somebody that I used to work with in the past who does a lot of work in this sort of field, but he was talking about how people attach it to success. They think the busier I am, because the thing is too, is I don't think people are purposely trying to be busy. Some people are. Some people are trying to fake it, right? You're always going to have, yeah. But some people believe that they're truly busy. I don't have a moment in my day. I don't have free time. So why would someone do that? Because they attach success to that. Mm-hmm. I must be close. Look how busy I am. I have to be almost there. I don't have any more time to do any more things. Right. Doing all the things. But if you're not efficient, you're not doing everything you could be doing, which is what we're talking about today. And if you're not focused, you're not going to give it 100%. I feel like a broken record right now. No, it's true. And also, if you're so busy. I know it's true. The guy at Berkeley said it. That's true. He would know. He would know. It's definitely true. But if you're so busy, you're like, I don't have time, then there's no place for you to grow, improve yourself, and keep open to new concepts, new ideas, and ways for you to move in a better direction. You're just going to be stagnant at some point. That's interesting take on it. Don't you think? I mean, yeah, I would have to agree. I mean, if you are somebody that truly believes that you don't have any free time at all, you're maxed out, and that's that. Yeah, nothing will ever change for you. So you can't. Yeah. Wow. And when that's eye-opening to me, because I don't think that way. But and when you the growth is what's so important for you to be a better person, to grow your business, to be open to all those opportunities. And now you're closed off to all of that stuff because you're so busy being busy. Your eyes are not open to anything else. You can only see what's right in front of you. Oh, I stumped you. Yeah. So I've definitely, I definitely am aware of that concept, but I never thought about it in that exact way, I guess. Okay. So very cool. Then you're welcome. I like curtsied right there. So we got the status thing, right? And the success thing, which I guess are kind of the same. Yeah. I found this interesting, but some research shows that some people use being crazy busy. That's how this article described it, as a numbing tactic. Okay. So I am like nothing in the world. I'm just going to fill all my time, or I don't know if it got into, well, this specific article I read, I don't recall it getting into any sort of mental health or anything, but I could see that too. Like, just stay busy,
Absolutely.
just stay busy, just stay busy.
Just keep swimming,
Yeah,
right? Like,
exactly.
And there are probably points in your life where you may need that, like for whatever that is, you're trying to come out of the hole or whatever. And being busy keeps you mentally sane and what have you. But again, it goes back to, at some point, you've got to open up your mind as to, why are you trying to be so busy? What is it that you're trying to avoid if you're filling it with all of this busyness? And it may be time to change some things to make your life more fulfilled or healthier, or whatever that looks like. I've been in that moment of like, they just keep busy to get through a hard time. Or I've also been where I felt like me being so busy equaled my success. None of those things, definitely didn't equal my success. And I used the tactic to stay busy to maybe, kind of numb my mind for a moment, but fully realizing that like that was just going to get me over the hump to where I could find some clarity.
So that kind of ties into what I was going to say about hustle culture. So we can kind of move into that. So hustle culture, I think, is generally harmful because you watch people on Instagram and all these people are there like doing the grind and never stop and I never sleep. All right, let me tell you what's going to happen, because I used to coach, health and wellness. You're going to break down.
Yeah.
1,
something will break.
2, just because somebody is insane on social media and talking about the grind never stops and I never sleep doesn't mean that it will work for you.
It doesn't even mean that they're productive in their grind.
Well, that's where I was going next, right? Okay. So yes, you're doing a bunch of things, but they could be arbitrary to your success. I mean, there's no guarantee by just doing stuff. Now, if you tell me that say I'm working with someone and they tell me that they've laid out a strategy, and part of that strategy dictates that they grind for a few months to like sort of accelerate their progress, and it fits their timeline and they have a set time and they say,
that would make sense.
I'm going to go hard for, 60 days on this journey. And then I'm going to dial it down to a sustainable pace so that I can maintain, but I want to get ahead. And here's why. And they are thoughtful and have intent. I'm cool with it. Let's go.
I was just going to say,
and
the goal is
fire up the coffee. Let's do this.
Yeah. That hopefully at that 60 days or 90 days that I'm here so that I can now focus on X, Y, and Z.
Or another thing might be if someone says like, so in the hair world, if your summer is slower, so I want to like grind on my social media. I want to set my content up over the summer for the whole year or most of the year, because you're always going to have seasonal stuff that pops up or whatever. But if somebody comes to me with that, I think it's a great strategy, but that's a strategy.
Right. There's purpose, there's intent.
It's not just like, well, if I'm busy, I'll be busy. And if this is you, I'm not laughing at you. I kind of am, but I just want to help,
Yeah. That's the whole point.
So we've already gone over the success stuff. So why do people feel busy or think we're busy? Because I checked out this other article and I pulled a couple of things out of it that I think are pretty interesting. Okay. So people, for one, like to be busy with house chores, right? It's just part of who we are. We're like, oh, I have to get to this. Oh, I have to vacuum. Oh, I have to this. Yeah. So let's be comparative, because that's something I like to do.
Love it.
You don't love it. That's fun that you just said that, though. You just lied to our entire audience. A lot of times I'm like, do you think Walmart would do that at their business? Or you think like...
Sometimes it annoys the F out of me, but at times I'm going to go for this comparison because I don't know where you're going with it. So right now I love it because I don't know what you're about to say.
So what I'm about to say is we're going to compare ourselves to the past.
Okay.
So think about all the things that we have to do today. We have to do dishes. They had to do dishes in the past. We have to do laundry. We have to clean the floors. All the stuff. Take care of the kids. Now think about it. Put in like a minute thinking about what it would be like, I don't know, 100 years ago, 1920. Right. Did they have dishwashers in every house pretty much? Laundromat?
Don't have a clue, but I'm going to say probably not.
Did they have, I say a laundromat, maybe if you're in the city, but like where we live, I would say 99% of homes have a washer and a dryer in it. You don't even have to go anywhere.
Right.
That can be going while you sleep. So based on even a vacuum cleaner, whatever your vacuum machine. I don't fucking know. I just used one earlier.
A vacuum machine. That's great.
No, they would have to sweep and then mop if they wanted to clean the floor. Right? Now you press a button. A lot of people have those eye robots that go around their house. What are you talking about? You're busy.
See, there's where you can multitask. You set your iRobot.
But you're not multitasking. Nice try.
Being funny.
So household chores have dropped from...
Yeah, they're much more... There's efficient ways to do it, right? So you're saving so much time.
Yeah. So in these notes, it was in the 1900s, it was like almost 60 hours a week, split up generally between two people.
Just house chores.
Right? Just house chores.
That's crazy.
And now it's down to around 15 hours.
Wow. And then there's those of you that hire the cleaners and all the other stuff. So yours is real down.
There you go. All right. So a lot of people are like, well, I work a lot. Well, let's put it into context, what you say work is. And I'm not taking away because I live here in this present time too. I'm not like from the past. I'm not trying to be weird.
For letting us know.
No, I want to clarify in case anyone's
they might have been like
confused. But people are like, oh, I work 40 hours a week plus those chores. Okay. Like back in the day, they worked on average of like 70 hours a week. Mm-hmm. And now, so for the past, I think it's 5 decades. It says. So from 1970 to present, work hours per week have been around 39.
Wow.
So we have less to do at home. We have less to do at work, but we feel busier than ever.
Mm-hmm. I think sometimes too, your mind takes over, and if you're under a lot of stress or pressure and you, like I said, you almost like freeze and you feel so busy in your day, but you can't accomplish anything because your mind is taking over your ability to do anything else. And honestly, if you're in that mode, that's where you should work out or do something healthy, because make that kind of efficient for your brain. It'll help it calm down. It might actually help you even organize, structure, strategize, to get yourself back on track.
Even think about think about this. Think about even traveling to work. Mm-hmm. Just hop in your car, you turn the key, and you drive.
Yep.
Guess what you can do while you're driving? Listen to Hello Hair Pro podcast.
Yes, you can.
And when you pull over and it's a safe space to do so, you can hop on our mailing list, which you can find in the show notes. So
nice plug.
But you, back in the day, okay, and I know that, I don't know, I feel like it's a relevant topic. I know we're not living in the turn of the century, obviously, but you'd have to wake up in the morning, walk down to the farm for 16 hours, and walk home. And hopefully the household chores were done and dinner was on the table, because it's probably how they lived back then.
Mm-hmm. Or think of all the people, I mean, just a few years ago that were probably commuting that no longer are. They're able to work from home. Even more time they're saving.
True story there too.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, it's changed so much.
The reason I'm bringing all this stuff up is because I just want people to put it into context and whatever works for your brain. But yeah, I read that somewhere, like my great grandfather used to work 16 to 18 hours a day in the fields. When it puts it into context, you're not that busy. Mm-hmm. That was so they could live, survive. What's the worst that happens because if you're farming your own food, you can't just stop at Chick-fil-A. Mm-hmm. I haven't even had Chick-fil-A in years. Chick-fil-A, send a check. You're welcome. All right. So I think people just I don't know exactly why some people do it, but they we've already given a bunch of examples, but I think it's just keeping up with the busyness. Like everyone's busy, so I must be busy. It's just this mindset. And
I really do think it goes back to like what you were saying. It's that to-do list without having a strategy. I think a lot of people have a list of things they need to get done, but they don't really know how to take the steps to get through that list.
Can you imagine if the Pilgrims had Amazon?
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
And then they just Amazoned everything and had it the next day. They didn't have to work through the harsh winters just to make clothing to live. Little Betsy might not even make it. She has a sniffle.
Stop it.
And now we're sitting here being like, I'm so fucking busy. I don't have time for anything. Maybe,
and
maybe
again,
technology. I think the overconsumption and having constant, like right now I have a phone in front of me. I have this audio interface in front of me. I have a laptop with several windows open. Like there's just constant. It feels like a lot's going on when really I'm just having a conversation with my wife and business partner.
Yep. I think a lot of people get caught up in social media too and that stuff. So before you know it, you've been on your phone for an hour and you lost that time.
Time suck.
I think
that happens to me. All this stuff, by the way, happens to me.
I think TikTok actually has in their app, if you're on it too long, it literally tells you to turn their app off. I think it's TikTok.
Okay.
I swear to God.
Doesn't China own that?
I have no idea.
And
Somebody, I know you can't actually
their...
comment below, but I'm pretty sure that's a thing. It does tell you to take a break.
Interesting.
But I do, again...
The Chinese government is caring about our...
Busy being busy, I think you've got to be reflective here. I think reflective is the right word I want to use, and you'll correct me if not. But what is like the biggest time suck of your day? And you may be busy doing things that really are not relevant, are not helping you towards your goals, are not getting you any further of where you want to be, are not challenging you to grow as a person. And you've got to reevaluate, organize those things and like, okay, I need to spend less time doing this because I can open myself up for more effective things in my life.
Well, everything is relative, right? So exactly what you said, without goals, you don't really have an end point. So, and I'm not saying stop somewhere, but at what point will you be happy? So say you're motivated by money. All right. Say you're somebody that's let's do a thought experiment. You're in your 20s and you think to yourself, I want to be rich. Right? Because that's a common term people use. It doesn't mean anything, right? What is rich to you is different than rich to me.
Correct.
So you say, I want to be rich by the time I'm 30 so that I can settle down, have a family. That's my goal. And you might think, great, that's a great plan. Mm-hmm. Except you hustle, right? And say you make your first $1 million at 29. You're turning 30. Now what happens? Because now you're in a different club. And now do you try to get to 5 or 10 million? Mm-hmm. And when you get to 10 million, and we've all seen people, I know a few people that are in this category, but they get there and then it's what's the next game? Right. What can I win? They get addicted to that. Mm-hmm. So it's almost like the busyness stays because they have to stay busy because they never have like this end where they'll be satisfied. Mm-hmm. Now, for some people, if that's the goal, I say go for it, because who the hell am I to tell you what your goals should be?
Right.
No one.
Absolutely.
But for a lot of people out there, I mean, if you made $1 million, you could, that's probably not going to set you up for life. Let's be real, right? It's not, actually, it's not going to set you up for life. Not to where you don't have to worry about anything. Right. So you have to have a plan for when you reach that. Okay, so I'm 29. My goal was to, have children in my 30s. I don't feel like I'm as set as I thought I would. Do you give it 5 more years? Do you give it 2 more years? Like, how do you have to come through and assess, I guess. Yeah. So, and that takes a lot of reflection. So that's probably something that comes into it too. Because before you know it, I guess, like if someone gets sucked into that lifestyle, I would imagine that you wake up and you're 62 years old and you're like, I made $100 million. Now what? How do I get to 250? Right. You know what I mean? Like, because it's addictive, right? Success and winning gets addictive. All right. Let's move on. Did I already say to get onto our mailing list? I think I did. So let's talk about some ways that people can either improve their workflow and focus, or to sort of deal with a lot of the overwhelm that comes with being just busy for the sake of being busy. Mm-hmm. So the first thing I had in my notes here was just to schedule your time. Yeah, I think that's actually like the best thing you could do. It's really important for you to schedule out everything you need. So if working out's important, schedule that in. If you, even your social media, if you're like, I'm going to go on, like schedule that so you're not getting lost and getting behind and your day gets ahead of you and now you're playing catch up. Yes. And I think it's important with social media to identify, are you going on as a creator or a consumer? So if you're scheduling your time to create, don't be scrolling through social media. You're wasting your time. You're trying to multitask. You cannot do that. We've already said that. So cut the shit. Agreed. But if it's leisurely, in the evening, I like to scroll through, catch up what everyone's doing, watch some stories, or in the morning, whenever I decide to do it, right? It's different for me on certain days. So I don't care what you call it, chunks, blocks. I feel like people are starting to try to come up with terms for breaking up their calendar.
Make your own term.
Here's the deal. I don't care. I don't give an F word. Can I say the F word on that? Yeah, I say it all the time, don't I?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't give a fuck what you call it. So, when I started using my calendar, like actually using it, I found myself way more productive.
Me too. I have an actual planner.
You have a planner, which works for you. I do it on my phone.
Yeah.
And I
write
use the
stuff
calendar
down, and it keeps me very organized, and it keeps my brain at ease.
Yeah. So I have a calendar on my phone that I use, and which syncs to my laptop. And then I have I plug it all the time. It's not a sponsor or anything, but Milanote I love because it syncs. It's an app, but then it syncs to my phone, which they just launched an app because I got a notice that was like, if you want to keep using this, you have to switch over. But I use it for all our podcast notes and everything because I can be out, have an idea, type it in, and then it's all set. It's already organized and I don't have to worry about it. So the next thing I had on my list is limit distractions.
Difficult one to do.
Yeah. So look, we're busy, but we're like everyone else. Like we have 3 kids, we have 2 businesses. I have a wife and a business partner who are the same person, but I talk to them differently because that's how we have to do things. Mm-hmm. And I guess you just have to like focus. I don't know. I have some stuff that might work. So for example, here's what I do. If I'm working at home, say I'm writing, I turn everything off, right? My phone goes face down generally. There are times where like a kid is up the street or whatever. So I keep my phone like close, but I'm not on it. Even still, that's not ideal. Mm-hmm. So if you don't have kids or you don't have to pay attention, that would be ideal because you can truly focus because it's hard even when the phone pops up and it's like, that's someone texting me that I don't have to get back to right now. Now I've just wasted 5 seconds and come out of the task that I was in. I
have all my notifications off. If my phone is not open, nothing comes through.
Right. I was just giving the example of like if the kids are across the street swimming or whatever, and I try to get something done, there's always part of me that's subconsciously like looking at the phone, and that's not ideal. I just want to point that out, and I know that it's not ideal. So if you can,
it's just the life you live in right now.
It's just where I live right now, and in the fall it'll be different because the kids will be in school, and I'll have a block of time, and I will schedule that to like put the headphones on. So where I was going with that is, I have noise canceling headphones that I use at home, and I think people would be surprised about the amount of time that there's just nothing on them, just noise canceling. So it is just silence, baby. Silence, and I can just focus on whatever I'm focused on and just get work done. So that's something that works for me. Do you have anything or you want me to keep going? What works for you, Jen? How can someone improve their workflow?
For me, it would be being outside.
Okay.
So I would schedule
some sunshine, fresh air.
Yep. A little bit of quiet time.
Get those feel-good hormones.
Currently, mine is really trying to get up before the kids get up because that's a time that I can get the most organized, and it's not mom. So, for me, outside is great. Actually, this morning I got up before all the kids went for a run because I just needed to clear my head, think about some stuff, and I knew I really needed some clarity for a bit of time. So I'm like, usually I work out inside the house, but I got outside of it so that I couldn't be interrupted. I knew Todd was home and I could just clear my head and start my day in a place where I could just get my thoughts all organized. So I wasn't busy just thinking about things all day. And that helps me really kind of that being busy. Sometimes it is just like a thought process. Like you can't get these thoughts out of your head. I know for me, exercise helps me organize my thoughts and really put them into a place where I can delegate what needs to be done first, second, third, and then go into my day, which worked very well for me today because when I came in, I was able to give my attention to the kids, get ready for work, and really do everything I needed to do this morning without feeling overwhelmed.
Gotcha. One of the things that just popped in my head, and I don't have this in my notes, and being honest, you can take a peek if you want, was to just take your workflow seriously and spend a little bit of time planning and then strategizing that. So lay out your week, right? Sunday through Saturday or Monday through Sunday, however you want to do it, whatever works for your brain. And then look at your days. Like what days do you have really dedicated time that you can focus on work that you really need to focus on. Say, like for me, I do some writing. I can't do that. I have to get into like a flow, right? I don't have to. Could I write? Yeah, but it's not going to be as good, which is the whole point of what we're talking about. So what I do is like dedicated. I look at those days. Like, so for me right now it's a little different, but typically it would be like a Tuesday and a Thursday, say when the kids are in school, because I know that they're in school or off doing whatever, and I have some time. So I block that first and then work backwards. What days are you at your salon or whatever? You know, you've got to account for that time. And then I would just spend some time practicing that and testing it. Like maybe it doesn't work as well, but if you put a little effort into it up front, you will eventually get your work week laid out to where it's all good.
And you'll start creating better habits, right?
For sure.
And then it just becomes part of your life. You don't even know how you got there at some point.
It becomes a lot easier.
Get going.
So on a lot of days, my schedule, I'll just give you an example, looks like this. I'll wake up and it's summer, so I've been waking up late. I'm going to be honest here. But so I typically will try to do something that focuses on progressing our business. One easy, quick task. And that's just simply to get a win in my day. Then if that day is like an exercise day, that's when I get my exercise in, because after exercise, this is a fact. After exercise, your brain is like primed and ready to go, right? After exercise though, you probably want to shower and eat some food. So schedule that stuff in so that you can really sort of identify where your time is. Do you spend an extra 15 or 20 minutes showering and sort of taking your time that you could like be quick with? Weigh that, I guess. Like, is that your time to yourself? Is that important to you? Keep it in there. I don't know. Everyone's got to figure that out for themselves. And then I just move forward and go through my day. You already talked about exercise. I want to touch on something that I slacked off on, and then I sort of reintroduced it over the last few weeks, which is meditation. So I'm not some person that sits around humming or whatever, but I'll pull up like this guided meditations on just practicing mindfulness and being grounded.
Love that.
And then after I listen to that, again on my headphones, I'll lay on the floor or sit and like a lot of them will ask you to close your eyes. Again, this has to be sort of scheduled in because it's constant with kids, right? So you got to sort of shut your phone off, shut things off, and be able to like be there, be present in that. But I mean, you can do them. Some of them are like 4 to 6 minutes. There's
a great app called, I think it's Headspace.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, I'll look and we can put it in the show notes. Actually, a client gifted it to me in a sense where she like sent me this email of like, this was for Christmas last year, like a month of just being part of it. I think you can do it for free too, but you get more if you like purchase it. And it was very cool. And yes, it was something you do need to schedule because a lot of the meditation, some stuff was just a minute or two, but they want you to close your eyes and really like get into it. But it was a very cool app. And I think if I remember, it was a while ago, when you subscribe, you get like daily kind of things just to keep you kind of present in what you're doing.
Like a note or something like
that.
Affirmation or whatever.
It was really cool. Really neat. And I'm pretty sure it was called Headspace, but I'll take a look and we can put it in the notes.
I want to check it out too. Yeah. So I downloaded a few apps and they had some really great stuff and they talked about how free they were and all this stuff. And then after like the first day, they're like, oh, we're free, but for 3 days. But they don't tell you that up front. And I just delete them because I'm like, look, if we can't kick off this relationship with some honesty,
no go.
And this isn't long-term. It's me, not you. Sorry, app. But I pulled up some stuff just on YouTube. Stuff for when you're overwhelmed or having some anxiety to just like starting your morning and being productive. So I'll rotate those through, and YouTube has stuff for free. You listen to a 5-second ad before and then it shuts, and then it, you can listen to it.
I do think being overwhelmed and anxiety, and we touched on this a little bit earlier, like I think a lot of that is what for some people creates that being busy because they don't know how to deal with certain things in their life. So they're just being busy, right?
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, I've dealt with that for the past 12 years. And I go through phases where I don't deal with it well and it comes up. Yeah. So you have to stay on top of it.
And find the things that work for you, for sure.
The last thing I had in my notes, and this might seem crazy to people, but take a vacation. If you're someone that's constantly busy to where it's like overwhelming and you feel like the world is going to break apart if you don't stay busy, you probably need a break. You probably need a break.
Yeah.
Like or else you're going to break.
Yeah.
And again, this doesn't have to be, you don't have to go to the Caribbean, although
sounds wonderful.
do it.
Take me.
Right? YOLO. But sometimes you just need a rest or a reset or whatever, and you can take it at your house. Take a few days off of work. Like I'm talking about, don't work. It's also a good test for your business. Can you be away from your business for 2 days? How about a week? Is it still there or did it burn down?
Right.
Right? You have anything else?
No, I think that's great.
That's all I had in my notes here. I hope that we help some people look at stuff or look at our busy lives and have
the reflection there of like, why do I feel this way? Why do I feel like this makes me successful? What can I do to make it a little different? Some of your days should be just enjoying your effing life. Like seriously, like just chill out.
We probably need to do another show on this topic because there is a lot.
Enjoy your busy life if it's busy, but also make time for all of the things
that's something
you
that
need to like take in too. And so you can grow and you can change. For
sure. Growth and change. That's something I recently was talking to someone, I don't remember who, and they said, you guys are always busy. And I'm like, well, I kind of like that. Like, I don't feel busy. Like I don't feel like I'm running around.
Yeah, we still we exercise, we take time, we spend time with our family. Like, yes, we have a lot of things going on, but we filter them very well. So there's also downtime, time with our family and chill time.
Right.
All of that happens.
Yeah, the filter part is huge. But I was just going to say, I just fill my time with things that I enjoy doing. Like I enjoy working. I enjoy recording and editing this podcast. I enjoy writing.
Yeah.
So,
and then we make time for the other stuff too. Like that's part of our agenda.
Right. And by scheduling time for your vacations and scheduling time for exercise and all that stuff, that's going to help you have that clarity to not try to multitask everything like we talked about in the beginning of the show. And it's going to give you more productive time. So then when you do have downtime, it's truly downtime.
Right.
Which is something we talk to everyone. When you're not at our salon, if you work at our salon, when you're not at our salon, don't show up. Don't worry about anything. Don't enjoy
your time.
Yeah, take your time away and reset. So don't forget to get on our mailing list. Yes. Appreciate you. That'll be in the show notes, and I'll get the app stuff from Jen, and we'll post that in the show notes too.
Awesome.
We'll see you guys next week. Bye.